What is going on, Vikings fans? Welcome back to the Purple and Gold Bars Show. I am your host, Supreme Overlord, aka Mr. AI Man 3000, aka Purple and Gold Bars, at your service. We are on the road to the 500 subscribers goal, hoping to hit that by the end of the year. So the calendar year. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, because you will not be you will not be disappointed with the odd out of the box thinking, the color commentary, the optimism, the positivity, and giving it to you straight like you should. All right, guys, we are back at it. We are going to be looking at our power rankings. Like last week, we're going to go ahead and work through it together. I feel like these streams will end up being a little bit shorter and shorter. I know the first two were like an hour, hour and a half long, and I think now we've gone to like 45 minutes. So I'm anticipating it being like that because there's going to be far less mobility going forward. All right, let's see what we have. So this is where we're at. So let's pull out the recalculations here. Let's do some recalculating. Let's go there. Anybody down here need to be recalculated? These guys can move up to maybe here. Oh, you know what? We're gonna put the Giants right at the top of the bottom of the barrel there. Bengals can keep going down. Bengals can go here. Dolphins are so rough, but we'll give them that. We'll bring these guys here. That should be a pretty good order for our 25 to 32. We got 4 teams that we need to reanalyze here, and we need to do some shuffling here. So this I'm comfortable bringing there. Now we can bring them there. These 3 teams, that's pretty good. These next 3 teams, this is a toss-up. I feel like all 3 of these teams could be interchangeable, so we can leave these 3 here. These last 4, on any given Sunday, they could end up being interchangeable as well. So I think that this is going to be a good top 10 right here. Now, we're going to have to bring the Steelers up, and we're going to have to bring LA up. And let's bring our Vikings here, the Ravens here. Yeah, I like that. Broncos, I think, can come up to like here. Yeah, that looks pretty good for our initial. Let's take a quick moment to stop and look at the scores and some stuff real quick. Let me switch the screen. Stop share, and now let's go to the games. I was looking at some stats earlier from ours, but we need to look week 4. Even though I watch all the games, although I do only watch the 40-minute conversion on everything else outside of the Vikings and NFC North. I still need to remind myself, your Saints, man. I'm going to keep them in that middle tier because I feel like they're still hanging on. They don't deserve the bottom of the barrel yet. Falcons, I have no faith in you. Taking on a hobble team. Tennessee, man. Bro, I really wanted you guys to win last week, even though I did pick the Texans to win. And look at those Patriots. Oh, those Patriots that I've been saying are going to be something this year and are going to be turning some heads. What a score to put up on any team. 42 points. That's pretty damn good. Giants with the freaking upset. I love that. The talent. I got a soft spot for the Giants because they remind me of our Vikings before we moved from just being raw talent with potential to more consistency as the years went on, right? So I feel like they're just there. They may still need to do a little coaching swap here in the offseason, but I feel like they're close to hitting a stride for sure. Ravens, man. Yeah, I feel like even with Cooper Rush, I have faith that these Ravens will be able to turn the season around. And at worst case scenario, when Lamar comes out, they'll just boat race people. And if they can stay dynamic, if they can catch people off guard and build huge leads early, they have a very, very good chance of being able to steal wins, even with a lackluster defense. Raiders, they're up there in that middle tier. I feel like there's a lot of potential. They're about to break out. Oh my god, what a disappointment! The Dolphins 20. Man, these Jets. Oh my goodness. I know I picked the Dolphins in my actual pickums, and in the live with the boys, I had said the Jets. I had switched and on that one I'd gone with the Jets, but man, they look rough and the Bengals look bad. All right. Let's move on back and let's make some more reassessments here because we need to get down to the bottom of this. All right. So these three teams I'm comfortable with. These three I'm comfortable with there. You could really put any one of these in any order and it would work. Let's put them there. Let's do it this way. Even though it doesn't really change anything in my mind. No, we'll do that there. Green Bay. Actually, no, we'll put the Colts ahead of Green Bay. Just because that defense in Green Bay is looking rough. The Steelers still managed to hang on, even though they're still pretty rusty and they have a lot of things to work on. They still come away with wins. Dirty, ugly games. The Rams keep showing people that they aren't to be messed with. Now let's look at this order here. This is the order that really needs to be addressed. One and three. Any of these teams more than one win? No, right? These are all one-win teams, right? If I'm not mistaken. Well, I guess we can put Atlanta up here because they do have 2 wins. You know what? Let's do this. Let's bring the Giants there just because I like them. Cardinals have a decent defense and they might be a little bit streaky and they might come and go at times, but there's a lot of times that they put some good things together. Now, I think the Patriots in Chicago are in a very, very similar situation. They're trying to find that consistency. They're trying to move forward into their next stage of development, I guess you could say. And they're doing a pretty damn good job right now. Like that 42 points by Drake May and the Patriots. Damn, son. That hard fought win. Like I said, hey, you know what? In that I did say in that live last week that I feel like the Raiders and the Chicago Bears game was going to be a lot closer than people thought. And I thought that the Raiders would come closer to their potential and then the Chicago Bears would regress a little bit to the mean. And that's basically exactly what we saw there, right? The freaking Bears came up clutch, their special teams. Big ups to the Chicago Bears for sticking to it and pushing through. I know it's going to be a lot of ups and downs, especially as they start getting into the harder section of their season. So we're gonna have to see what that looks like at the end, right? But Broncos and San Fran, I would not be. I feel like if you ran these two teams 100 times, the Broncos would win 50 times, and the San Fran would win 50 times, 1,000%, 1,000%. I feel the same thing with the Ravens and the Baltimore. I mean, and the Vikings right now. We're definitely a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team right now. We are exactly where what we should be. Like I said, going into the season, this season's going to be a roller coaster. Is the analogy that I went with. Try to explain that the early part of the season was going to be lots and lots of ups and downs, ugly wins, ugly losses. In a lot of flashes, right? We saw incredible flashes in week 1. JJ McCarthy, 3 touchdowns, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. You know what I mean? Just showed that first flash that he showed was incredible. Does not matter to me that it was only 1 quarter out of 8 that he looked great. And that's exactly what I expected, what I expect out of a rookie, right? So I'm excited for him to come back against the Eagles and to really put some work in and some good reps in after the bye. That gauntlet, I think, is going to put a lot of these negative Nancy's and these jaded fans to kind of sit down and freaking maybe even keep their mouth shut as their narratives and every conclusion that they drew from a small sample size comes crashing down. Like I've been saying a lot this year, drawing conclusions from a small sample size only gets you randomness masquerading as meaning. That's why we see all these people calling this stuff out. That's why we keep seeing people, oh, it's a play calling, it's a coaching, it's this and that. The only thing that I will give credit to, because I have taken the time to look deep into this, and I've rewatched this game 3 times, and I went back and I watched the Falcons game, and it was even more evident to me that there is an issue with our O-line coach. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's him putting his head in the sand and thinking, hey, there's no way we're going to get more injuries, so we don't need to have our backups prepared, or the little preparation that we're going to give him is going to be more than enough. I think that was a big mistake if that was the case. Now, mind you, I wasn't in the O-line coach room or in the practices, so I don't know if that's the case. He could have very well put together an incredibly good game plan and a backup plan, and it just all fell apart. Right? I've been saying a lot this week that we have an execution problem, not a play calling or coaching problem. If we, in that lens to the fact, because we have had so many backups had to start, as well as backups having to be thrown in the midst of it all, which is expected to have those players to not be as effective and not be able to execute like the starters do. So that's why I feel like we're a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team. Same with the Baltimore Ravens, man. If they get that running game going, if Derrick Henry gets unstoppable, even with Cooper Rush, man, it's going to be a problem for some of these lower teams. So I feel like they're going to be just fine. They'll hold on long enough. I think they'll shock some people with what they can do without Lamar while he's out. With that being said, I think that justifies these 2 teams right here. I think we're good there. I feel like this is like probably the most accurate right here out of all these. I feel like you could argue just about every position here on the top 12 for me. Honestly, I would not be upset with you if you wanted to argue. And the only spot that I would actually push back hard on is that the Bills are number 1. I don't care what anybody's saying. I don't care what these pundits are talking about. The Lions are not better than the Bills. The Eagles are not better than the Bills. The Bills are a prolific offense. They've scored more than any team has in the last few years. It's evident that they are the team to beat, and they are the best team in the AFC right now, and potentially the entire NFL. We have seen some flaws from the Lions. They came out extremely rusty at the beginning of the year, right? That goes to that leans to the fact that they have a lot of new, right? They have a new playbook, they have new verbiage, they have new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. A lot of things aren't going to be as plug and play as they're accustomed to, because they were together for so long. So for that massive reason, that's why they stay at number 2. And the Eagles have not put together a full 4-quarter game. So that is a big problem, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. The Seahawks are exactly, I feel like here in these 4, 5, 6 area, along with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chargers, I feel like either one of these spots, these guys belong there. Seattle, despite all the ugly play and for Sam Darnold to go away at certain parts of the game, he is still doing what he did last year for Minnesota, coming up in late 3rd quarter situations or 4th quarter situations where he desperately needs to get some points on the ball on the field, keep the offense out there, give their defense a rest so they can get back and cause a turnover or a stop for them to win a game. That they're on pace, right? So I feel like they're going to be an easy pick for the playoffs. Same with the Chargers. KC, it's a rough situation to be in, but I have a lot of faith in the coaching, the players, the talent, the consistency that they have. Although I've been saying this entire time, this season might be the season that the Chiefs look the most beatable. But that is not going to take away from what they can do in the playoffs. That is not going to take away from the experience, the composure, the adversity they're capable of overcoming in the playoffs. So I would not be surprised if they make a deep playoff run despite all the ups and downs that they have. The Chargers, the same thing. Man, I am in awe at what Harbaugh has done with this team. In my opinion, he's done what most coaches do in 3 years after taking over a team, and he's done it in one. It's absolutely incredible. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another team up there that they just don't have any quit in them. They have a really sneaky, underrated defense. They have great special teams. They have good running backs. They got good players. I know Mike Evans is out right now still with that injury, but he'll be back soon. I think. I don't think it was a season-ending injury, so that dynamic playmaker is going to make a factor. Indiana Jones and the in the Colts, I feel like this is a great spot for them. I feel like they were humbled a little bit. And I think that's going to only light a fire under their ass, um, because the Rams do a really really good job of putting you in situations that you don't prepare for. We as Vikings fans definitely experienced that twice last year, and as a result, we paid the price, and they continue to do so. They have a savvy freaking coach with an incredibly dominant defensive line. Their pass rush in the run stop game is one of the best in the leagues. They can catch anybody off guard, and yeah, they are really really good, right? So the Rams, um, so for them to come in and disrupt what Indiana the Colts had to do, is a testament to the skill level of the Rams, and also the fact that the Colts were able to stay in it, and they tried, and they didn't get blown up, they didn't get punched in the mouth, and they didn't faint. So that goes to show that it wasn't all hype. There is some substance. We're yet to find out how much substance these Colts have, but they do, and I think they belong in the top 12 for me. Now, Green Bay, man, what can I say about Green Bay that I already haven't? Okay. I do not believe in Jordan Love. I don't care how many yards he can throw, this and that. When he continues to throw away games, throwing interceptions on third down late in games, or when he's playing subpar teams throwing interceptions off the back foot, it just is not a good look for a guy that by this time should not be making those types of rookie or backup mistakes. That's why their offense is still an asterisk to me, because at any moment, as good as they're playing, they're going to be in a situation where they feel like they need to drive down the field, and Jordan Love is going to make this mistake. He continues to do so. And until he makes a deep playoff run or wins something of meaning like the Super Bowl, and then I might be able to just let it go. But until then, that is a big asterisk on Jordan Love. That defense, though, oh my goodness, it is hot garbage. That game against the Browns, to me, it looked exactly like what we did to the Packers. So last year, and we just completely embarrassed them defensively, and they had to do everything in their power to try to get back into it. And even then, it wasn't enough. And that's how the Browns were able to beat them, and we were able to sweep them last year, right? So I think that's a good spot for them. Washington, they're banged up, so I'm going to leave them at 10. I'm going to give them a little bit of grace. The Steelers probably could have stole 10 there, or even the Rams, but we're going to keep the Steelers and the Rams at 9, or at 10 and 11. And there you guys have it. Those are my power rankings for this week. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, guys. We will be going live every single day. We're going to be going live a little bit later today because I have a new segment that I really want to bring forward to you guys, and hopefully can pick up some steam. We are going to, what did I end up calling it? We ended up calling it, I think we're going to either go with the underrated report, where we talk about all the teams that nobody likes to give any credit to, or even talk about in the mainstream media, or the big YouTube channels. We're going to start giving out the love to those fan bases, because I and you as Vikings fans know what that's like. Okay. We are constantly dogged, constantly made to feel irrelevant, or even not even brought up. There's been so many times where the Vikings will have a dominant freaking performance, and the Green Bay Packers or the Dallas Cowboys or somebody else that lost that week will end up being the focus of the discussion, and we might get a nice little 30-second or 10-second blurb about how the Vikings had an incredible outing and that they still don't believe in us. So we're going to be trying to break that habit here on this channel, and we're going to do that every week going forward in the season. So if you know any other fans that that feel that way, that are from other teams, tell them about this live. We will be doing it every Wednesday going forward. We will be doing our, either it's going to be called Underrated Report or Dark Horse Diaries, because all these teams have a lot of stuff going on that they need some love too. So that's what we're going to be doing later on today in about an hour and a half's time here. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. We are on the road to 500 subscribers, and I hope to reach that by the end of the calendar year, because this is the #1 spot on the YouTube where you're going to get underrated, outside of the box thinking, positivity, optimism, and but still, we will be looking at the flaws and the things that we need to address. We're not going to be drinking the Kool-Aid, but we are going to be following my natural instincts of being an optimist rather than a pessimist. I feel like that everybody is a pessimist on YouTube. Everybody in the comments is a pessimist. So we're going to try to break through that and make sure that all these teams get a little love every single week, because they deserve it. Their fans are there every single week, every single day, like our fans, and the team, just like the fan bases of the teams that get all the love. So if that is you, if you know friends like that or have other friends from other franchises, let them know about this channel, because we will be giving you guys love. And I would love to see those fan bases in the chat letting me in on the insights that they see, because they're going to spend a lot more time than I will be able to dive deep into these storylines. And so with that, I'll leave you guys, and we will see you in the upcoming live in just a little while. Take care, guys.